Terran, where to begin? This race is so imbalanced it's actually sad. They can just do whatever they want and I'm stuck responding to what they're doing. In this replay he had some early game bullcrap, which I think I held reasonably. Yes, I probably lost a lot of drones, but I felt like I remade them pretty fast. After that I should have been miles ahead, but thanks to Terran's incredibly easy early game defense, bunkers, easy wall-offs, with depots, etc. He can hold whatever early game push I might throw at him. At that point, I made lots of workers and was going into hive. But he just decided to mindlessly mass battle cruisers. It takes no skill, no micro, and he just gets insane value. I know I'm not the best player, but my complaint is that I shouldn't have to be the best player to beat a Terran. I should only have to be slightly better than my opponent. Please excuse the toxicity at the end, I was tilted. Sincerely, Shadow Mantle. Context at the beginning, we just played another match on the ladder and he won with an early tank hellbat push. So what is really in this email? Let's just deconstruct this a little bit. So he's complaining about the easy wall-offs rather than just regular wall. It's not just, he has no problem with difficult wall-offs. It's the easy wall-offs that mess with him. He lost a lot of drones, but he remade them pretty fast. And he felt like he held the early game bullcrap reasonably. I got some points, some points to look at. Let's just hop straight into this game and see what actually happens. Okay, look at that. Within the first seconds, he typed, I don't know why I play this game. This means that he typed that during the countdown. So he instantly re-queued after he lost the last game. And then in the countdown, he's still so tilted from last game that he types it in. This shows that he has a very powerful mindset. You know, even though he's completely tilted off the self-punishment. Dude, my man Carl over here, I bet this guy's a psychologist. Like, he pinned this guy exactly where he is. Like, this is a form of masochism. It has to be, absolutely. Holy crap. Go straight back into the game. Alright. What did he say? Early game it went well for him, right? Lost a lot of drones, but he rebuilt them fast. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. We see Carl Hungus. I like this name, by the way. I don't know why, but it looks like a name for a philosopher, you know? Let's see if his playstyle is filled with wisdom. Terran is unbeatable now anyways. I like that there's a period to give some more power to that sentence, you know? You really do know you're in a good mental state when you start complaining about the matchup before you have even lost. That's very, very... Dude, Carl, who is this guy? I want to meet him. This guy has the mindset of a warrior. You know, he realizes his opponent is slightly tilted, and Carl's like, okay, you know, like I'll cheer him up a bit, even though there's MMR on the line. He's like, you know, I'll try to work on his mindset a little bit. And then this guy just keeps saying things. You don't need to be good to be the Zerg as Terran. And I bet Carl will say something filled with wisdom again. If your name is Carl Hungus and you're a Terran on the American ladder, I'm gonna finish that sentence. Yeah, Carl. Filled with wisdom, this guy. My man Carl. Move over, Plato. Oh my god, Confucius, you're an idiot compared to Carl Hungus. Oh, I love it. Carl is a... I'm following the school of thought that Carl introduces. I don't care what this guy does for the rest of his life. Like, I'm following the things he says, you know? He knows what's truly important in life. He's proxying a factory, and my man Shadow Mantle has no clue about it, which... What was that? Was that Winter? He also plays with the Winter voice pack, and also explains why he isn't too good. I love you, Winter. Okay, what is it? What's he gonna do? I guess it's just Hellions, right? 3-4 Hellions. You save them up, then you go in. He's getting a bunker at home. Easy walling. This is not a difficult wall. You just build it right next to it. This is easy, guys. So I bet right now Shadow Mantle is already fuming seeing that bunker so easily walled right next to the other one. On the other hand, we see, look at this, difficult walling. Actually, there's probably space between this. Because this is difficult walling. This is not easy walling. That's the difference between Zerg and Terran. Oh my god, this is so easy. Another easy walling. Look at this. He scouts this with the Ling. He's like, oh man, this is what easy walling looks like. Now, the thing that Shadow Mantle should have picked up on is that an SCV went in and nothing went out. Luckily, Shadow Mantle isn't as good on the numbers as the guy in the movie Soul is, you know, who counts the people going to heaven. Because otherwise he would have known that there's an SCV here in the main base. Walking mine to the ramp. Is this a joke? I've never seen this before. Oh, there's already one here. I didn't even see that. Oh my god, he already has 7 kills. I'm sorry, we need to go back. How did he do that? Oh, he saved up 2. Okay. So let's take a look what Shadow Mantle's doing. So he's scouting right now. Pompidom. So something's happening on the minimap. Still something happening on the minimap. I'm not sure if I'm actually on his vision. Oh yeah, I am. He's just moving really slow. Yeah, how did my drones die? Doesn't quite understand it. Okay, spore, spine. I don't quite understand the spine, but I like the spore. Isn't he curious where these mines came from? Oh, I just heard something. Oh, Link's died. Sees a mine. Oh, okay, there it is. Sees a mine walk into his natural. Decides the best play is to go keep. Oh, that was good micro. That was good micro. I like that. This is still in range, buddy. Nice try, Carl. Execute attempt, Carl. This one has killed 10 drones so far already. That one's also gonna die. Spine crawler's out of range. He still moves it within spore range. This is a great game. Doesn't want to kill this. Doesn't want to kill this. It's gonna shoot again, isn't it? Hello? We have vision. 15. 15. Oh my god. I really hope that my man Shadow Mantle... Why is he building another spore? Spores can move. I really hope my man Shadow Mantle doesn't build buildings. I hope he isn't in construction, because he says this is a good beginning. Look at this. He's down 22 workers. 22! They'll come to him. It's like, and how's the foundation? Like, strong foundation. It's like, but it looks like there's nothing. No. Like, it's strong foundation. And they put in like the first post, and it just sinks into like the mud. It's like, I thought he said it was a strong foundation. It was a strong foundation. Very strong foundation. Like, dude, you're dead. You're 1/3 of your opponent's workers. The other guy has mules as well. You still haven't even cleaned up 2 of the drones, and you're getting another spore to check the one at the ramp rather than moving your spore. This is a massive advantage you have as a Zerg. Getting 2 spores for a single mine is like, imagine you're a goalie on a football pitch, and you're a bad goalie, okay? And you're like, you know what I should do? I should probably get some glass. You get some glasses, you can now at least see the ball coming, and it improves the situation slightly. Then you decide, if one pair of glasses is going to make me this much better, imagine what happens when I wear 2 pair of glasses. So my man Shadow Mantle puts on the second pair of glasses. Still can't hold the ball out of the goal, of course, because he's also a crap goalie. That's the problem. The problem here isn't detection. It is the fact that you don't know what to do when the balls are coming towards you. Moves across the map with 20 links. Smart. Counterattack. Oh my god, what an easy wall this is by Carl. That's ridiculous. Shadow Mantle actually fuming. If he had like a heat meter, you know, like you've seen in his house, he's completely orange and red where he is. Just lights up his entire room. It's like, oh my god, there's a fire in that house. But no, just Shadow Mantle. When he sees an easy wall like this, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. What is he doing? He sees this. So he lost his links now. Now he can focus once again on building drones and walking them through this mine. Maybe he can walk a couple of drones into these. They're not doing enough damage yet. Okay, he sends the queen there. Okay, this was a really, really smart move. Not many people understand this move. But I'll explain this to you, okay? So, here for a very long time, this queen is just staring it down. And he's playing a game of chicken with this mine. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna go in, you know, I'm gonna go close as possible. Then he goes to inject to truly show superiority. And it's like, you know what? Let me just tank this mine shot with my queen rather than with a zergling or a drone, which are all... Well, a zergling is like 1/6 the cost and a drone is 1/3 the cost of a queen. Instead, I sacrifice my queen into this mine. Douche. And then I can send the other queen from downstairs. I finally managed to clean it up. So, a very solid way of dealing with burrowed mines on your ramp, I have to admit. It's something we don't see very often. He also could have used the spine, of course, and not sacrifice anything. Oh, he realizes now he can move it. I thought he was going to put on the third pair of glasses. He realizes 2 is enough. Is this queen going to go all along the edge and also kill himself into this one? It is possible. Stay tuned to find out. Spine. Why did he build spines, by the way, rather than just getting like 2 lings and sacrificing 1 ling and then using the other ling to kill it with Vision of the Spore? A single raven moving across. No, Carl's a legend. Carl's floating 1700 minerals. He doesn't care about that because it's very easy for him to wall. Look at that. It's with depots, etc. Very easy to wall. Carl has no troubles. 2 command centers because Carl has a lot of money. He doesn't mind. Carl is... Yeah, it's lots of money. Carl is fine. Carl Hungus. He's writing a book during this as well. Like his philosophy on life. And how to teach children how to properly behave. Carl has loads of books written. He usually writes them in his latter games against Shadow Mantle. Which Shadow Mantle keeps requeuing every single time after he loses. Because this guy has the winners never quit and quitters never win mindset. So it just keeps going. Like, one day I'll beat him. Meanwhile, Carl's playing with like his toes. Writing a book with his left hand. Editing his other book with his right hand. Carl has multiple brains as well. He's just a lot smarter than the average. Well, definitely smarter than the average Zerg player. But that's mainly because Shadow Mantle is bringing the average down so far. The actual average of Zerg player probably was pretty high. Shadow Mantle switched from Protoss to Zerg. All downhill. Oh, I love this. The double spore, the double glasses right next to each other. Instead of putting one to zone any potential threats, he decided to put both of them next to each other to do absolutely nothing. This is the kind of brilliant thinking, the out-of-the-box brilliant thinking that you only get from Shadow Mantle. You love to see it. Meanwhile, let's not forget about the fact that he hasn't scouted anything. The last time he saw was a starport going down. He isn't aware of anything else happening. He's been down in workers the entire game. Like, if Carl invested all of his money into SCVs and moved across the map with SCVs, I'd give him a 70% chance to win. I think that's pretty reasonable. He's getting Ling Bane. Preparing to explode on top of these battles. There's also 27 Marines though. But there's a wall. And it's not even just a difficult... It's an easy wall. Oh my god, this is so triggering to see. I hope someone, when Shadow Mantle rewatches this, I hope someone is close by to give, you know... You don't know what's gonna happen with him. Like, he might start raging. The walls! Carl is just chilling. Doesn't really need to use the energy on his orbital. Gets a planetary on the fourth. Orbital in the main. Saving up battle cruisers to make sure he can literally one-shot every building on the other side of the map. Shadow Mantle, after 9 minutes of seeing nothing, decides maybe it's time to send in another Overlord. Instead of sending it in, just leaves it hovering over the fourth base. Brilliant. My man Shadow Mantle still at 39 workers as well. He's been building units exclusively. 93 links, 9 Banelings. Rather than perhaps getting a couple of queens, seeing what his opponent is doing, and taking a fourth base. He decides the right course of action is to be down 20 workers the entire game. The only reason the supplies are even is because Carl is saving for bad times, you know? He remembers the 2008 crisis. He's like, never again. He always keeps a little bank. Hidden. Well, not really hidden, it's right there, but you know what I mean. Another command center goes down. Carl can afford it. He's rich. Oh! Disgusting. Well, it's not really a wall. This is just the defenses. But, well, I guess this counts as a wall. It's an easy wall as well. Nasty. See if Shadow Mantle is trying to wall anything. I'm not sure if this counts as a wall, but I bet that's really difficult to do, putting these two right next to each other. Maybe what the mental capacity that Shadow Mantle has is. I don't know. It's hard to say sometimes. You have +2 ship weapons on the way. Right now we have 6 queens against 4 battle cruisers. So generally, I think Shadow Mantle is well ready for these BCs as well. You love to see it. Creep threat continues on. Walls, everything. Just like a rage porn that he's watching. This is his way of raising his heart rate naturally, you know? Just looks at this. His blood pressure goes up. It's crazy. He doesn't need medicine for that type of stuff. If he knows how to, like, these certain breathing methods to get your blood pressure down, and then he has, like, just a picture of this, if he needs it to get up, he can perfectly regulate everything inside of his body. Shadow Mantle is a level above the rest of it when it comes to bodily control. He's control over all of his functions. I like the Blue Flame Hellion, by the way. I think that's big. No, that's really big, actually. Because his opponent is literally only on Ling. So it's gonna be Hellion, Hellbat, Battlecruiser versus Lingbane. So literally everything that Carl is making hard counters his opponent. Like every single unit is perfect. Except the 31 Marines. And every single unit that Shadow Mantle made so far is incorrect. You don't want this at all. Like, none of it. Nientos, nada, zero, null. Ooh, Spire goes down. He finally spots the Battlecruiser. Oh, wait a second. Truly fuming at this point. He's like, how would I even have been able to find this out? As he has absolutely no clue. That he can just perhaps make an Overseer, fly into his opponent's main base, see that there's like 5... This was all of 2 starports, holy crap. Imagine how long this took. This took like 5 minutes, this transition. Hasn't spotted it once. Also didn't realize nothing was coming for him. I think in the past 5 minutes he legit went up 10 drones. 10 drones, while nothing happened. Doesn't even have Baneling speed. Goes into the wall. Only bust 1 depot down, rather than all of it. Waits until... Then realizes the wall was open already, even though it is an easy wall. This actually is doing some damage. Which makes me sad and happy at the same time. I bet he felt like an idiot, busting open this depot and realizing he could just walk in. Probably could have used these banelings for this. Meanwhile, the Battlecruisers uncontested, because there's actually nothing that Shadow Mantle has. Shadow Mantle is not even in that bad a spot, funnily enough. Like, he has a lot of money. If he had a Spire and just had like 20 Corruptors on the way... What? Hello? He actually would not be in a terrible spot. Yeah, he's getting 15 Corruptors now. He can just drone back up and he should be fine. Well, he won't be fine, but he's down like 8k resources. But it's probably playable with the way that Carl has been playing so far. Single Battlecruiser. I'm not sure if this teleported or flew over, but it just went in and killed the remaining hive. Neo Steel Frame, of course. The hardcore... I think he complained about turtling as well, no? I'm pretty sure he did complain about turtling, yeah. So, makes a lot of sense. I mean, there was 2 bunkers in the planetary. That's very scary. I like that he didn't really complain about the Battlecruiser or like the fact that the Terran units counter all of his. The Terran is extremely cost efficient. Like, these are things that at least I could reasonably say, like, this is nice to complain, but too easy to wall. How do you even get that in your head? It's not even hard to wall as a Zerg either. You just build buildings. It's the same with every race. Like, the way the hexes work just always works the same. I guess depots are a nice structure because it's 2x2. He's mainly been using bunkers. And his wall wasn't even complete. Why is he... What's he doing with his Corruptors? Oh, he just wants to pee his base down, I guess? You'd feel like there's a little bit more urgency if you're on 2 base and 31 workers fighting against a guy that's on 4 base. But there's no... What? This is the scout pier. This is what we used to do as well. When I was a kid, I used to be in the scouts, okay? It's a good story, actually. Used to be in the scouts. I think you call it like the Boy Scouts. You know, the Boy Scouts? And whenever you get to a train track, when you're in the Dutch Boy Scouts, it is tradition that you all pee on the train track. Because you know it's supposed to be safe, right? Even if there's electricity on it, you shouldn't be able to feel it. Because the stream of your pee isn't consistent enough. But always what you do, you first send in the youngest guy that's new to test if it's safe. So he pees, and if he's good, they all pee on the train track. That's what this guy was as well. the Boy Scout. Yeah, just standard procedure really in the Dutch Boy Scouts. At least the chapter I was part of. Okay, battlecruisers make their way across the map. Take out the planetary fortress. You love to see it. It doesn't even like... What? You do whatever you want and still win? I'm really curious what Carl's response is going to be. No chance at all for me to win. These are just bad words he's using. So bad at this game too. Sad. Get out. How would he get out? He won. Like, this makes absolutely no sense. You know? Let's go to the... No, before we go to the complaint form. Okay, listen to this. Imagine this scenario. A hypothetical, okay? Completely hypothetical scenario. Imagine two people living next to each other. Shadow Mantle and Carl Humus, the famed philosopher. Now, my man Shadow Mantle, he wants to drink tea with some sugar in it, okay? Just a little bit of tea with some sugar in it. Except he's out of sugar. So what does he do? He goes to Carl. He says, Carl, you dumb philosopher with lots of money, who is just lucky in life, and you got born to parents with high IQ. I want some of your delicious sugar, because your sugar is better, but only because you're lucky and an idiot. Carl, calm as always, says, sure, you can have some of my sugar. Gives him a little bit of sugar, and as Shadow Mantle walks away, he keeps on insulting and calling him a mama's boy and a rich kid, even though Carl worked hard for his money, and he tried his best. He's a humble dude, tries to help anyone that comes to him for help. Shadow Mantle just complaining, puts some sugar in his tea, goes back, throws the rest of the sugar in Carl's face, and Carl, he just takes it. He breathes in through the nose and out through the mouth, because Carl knows there's something wrong with Shadow Mantle. Now, that is basically a complete analogy for what this game was. Okay, we saw Carl being a complete gentleman, a scholar, someone that everyone would want as a friend, while Shadow Mantle did nothing but insult and play poorly and make mediocre decisions. Now, from here on out, let's go into the balance complaint one more time. Let's just go over some of the things he said. So, first of all, he said, I probably lost a lot of drones, but I felt like I remade them pretty fast. This is a claim that we can investigate. We investigated. This claim was simply not true. You did lose a lot of drones, but you did not remake them pretty fast. Like, that is absolutely not true. That's a big X for you, my friend. Like, it took you up until the 12-minute mark, you're like 57 drones. He didn't do any type of aggression that stopped you from building drones for the entire game. All he did was send 4 Widow Mines into your mineral line that killed 45 workers somehow, and then completely ended you there. You didn't rebuild them quickly. You did rebuild the drones that you initially lost, but you never built any more drones. And also, even the ones you rebuilt were really slow. So that is a false claim. Second, thanks to Terran's incredibly easy early game defense, he can hold whatever early game push I might throw at him. This is a claim that we tried to investigate, but was impossible to investigate because you didn't throw anything at him. There was no early game push. You accidentally rallied 20 links into his natural and lost all of them, killing half an SCV. If you consider that a push, we also this one out. But honestly, this one is undecided. We couldn't investigate this because no such thing happened. Impossible to investigate is what we say then. At that point, I made lots of workers and was going into Hive, but he just decided to mindlessly mass battle cruisers. I made lots of workers. That is an objectively false claim. You did not make lots of workers. You did go into Hive, and he did decide to make battle cruisers. Whether that was mindless or not, we can't really say. So, you know what? We'll give you partial true for this. It takes no skill, no micro, and he just gets insane value. Nothing that you did takes any skill, micro. To be fair, you also had no value. But you did nothing correct. Nothing you did was with skill. Nothing you did was with micro. And thus you also got no value. He at least did some things correct. He had correct unit counters. He put on some aggression. He built walls, even though they were kind of easy, I have to admit it. With depots, etc. I mean, that's disgusting. But he got way better value. Yeah, he got way better value. That's normal because you know what? Cirque is supposed to have a way better eco, but you didn't build any drones. And you went down to 11 workers, like the 5-minute mark. So, in conclusion, were you correct in this balance complaint form? No, none of the claims really hold true. And on top of that, you sucked. And you sucked extremely hard. That's a fact. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. Is the Imba doer. So if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to say that you like me more than Hamster. And don't forget to smash the like button as well. All of these things in that order. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.